was really adamant I did not want a fad diet. I needed something I can repeat again and again for the rest of my life because I don't want to have to make a 40-pound swing ever again in my 50s or 60s. Neil also said I added up my calories for the first time in my life, and I was like, holy Lord, what did I do to myself? It was a reality check. I can't believe I thought I was actually doing okay. Welcome back to Driven for Health. This is episode 58. Coach Brian Piranha here. Today we're talking with Neil. He's an architect, business owner. He has 3 kids, and his life is full. He travels a lot. He is on the go. He has actually a team of 8 people and a growing, successful business that is managing a lot. He's in the Nashville area. He's in a season where a lot of people totally put their health on the back burner. He's full going work. From the moment he wakes up, he's just moving in the direction. And he started a journey with me at 230 pounds. And 3 months later, down 32 pounds, broke the 200. But what matters more, it wasn't necessarily the number. That was a good thing, a great thing. But it wasn't about perfect weeks. We started at a work conference, and he was surrounded by finger foods, drinks, late night dinners, and you'll figure it out. You'll hear how he explained his first day and first week together. And what we really got was that finally clicked and connected with him is how to build a foundation around nutrition, exercise that fits into his day-to-day life. If you're a driven guy, successful, but your body's falling apart, listen up, listen in, off we go. Neil, he's an architect, a business owner, and his wife is a vet, and she's a super busy professional. They've been married for 17 years. They have 3 kids, ages 4 to 8, 2 boys and a girl. I joke with him, I have 4 kids, 14 to 8, 3 boys and a girl. So I'm waiting for him to join the Piranha 4-pack here. I think he's done. One of the things that brings us to the call, we've been working together for literally just 3 months, and he's down 32 pounds. We wanted to share about his journey, what he did, what progress he did, what clicked for him this time. And I hope that you enjoy our conversation. So Neil, let's turn it over to you. Who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Like you said, I'm an architect. I'm father of 3, probably not going to be 4, I'm afraid. Very busy kids. And I have a wife who's also, as you said, a busy professional of her own. So life gets full, and we live in Middle Tennessee, and do so many things with our kids, and our family lives nearby. So as many people our age, I think that the days get very, very full, and the years go pretty quick. I decided to add to that kind of complexity earlier this year, as you know, by starting my own company. And that's been an exciting journey. I worked for a really wonderful architecture firm in Middle Tennessee for the previous 8 years, and doing projects, everything from small projects locally to really large, complex projects that have taken 4 and 6 years, both here and in Boston and all over the country. So travel and whatnot. But yeah, man, over that time, I had gotten into some bad habits, especially in the wake of COVID and whatnot. And yeah, so it's been a big a changing year for me, both starting my own company and an opportunity to change some of those habits. So
Right. Excellent. We know that you're obviously you're super busy. So you and I share a lot in understanding the business of just family life. Then we share in the business of the entrepreneurial journey of client acquisition, client fulfillment, and all the things that go in between that of juggling meetings and conversations and projects and managing that. So where were we at back in August 1st? What got you? Where were you at when you first called?
man, when I first joined with you, I was in a huge moment, getting ready to enter a huge moment of transition. I had the firm that I had worked for so long had graciously asked me to stay on and help finish a humongous 300,000 square foot high school that I had been the project manager of for the past 8 years. And it was the finally coming open with 1,600 students arriving and, all kinds of attention, public excitement, and immense stress for the design and construction team as we got done. And so I was lucky to do that for the first 8 or 9 months of this year as I
Right.
started my company. It was a huge gift, but I knew that a moment was coming where change was coming, whether I wanted it or not. And so, a lot of things in my life at that point, and I'll tell you a little bit more about those in detail. Like I kind of started to think like, man, I really want to make some changes. And I knew that transition was coming. I thought, well, maybe there's an opportunity here for me to use this transition in my life for the better, for some changes I really want to make for myself because it's unavoidable. So I might as well take advantage of the restructuring of my time,
Right.
pardon me, while I do it. And so what that's meant practically is when that project's ended, right around when you and I started, I gained a little bit of time back, which was
Right.
helpful to begin this process. But the complexity kind of my schedule, which you alluded to before, didn't really change. It altered a little bit in how it's mixed. But like, I think the very first week, the very first 3 days we worked together, I was at a conference out of town, down in Memphis, like doing the things you do at conferences with finger food and drinks and everything, and
Right.
like no vegetables to be found anywhere. And it was actually, it's funny, I wouldn't have guessed it at that moment, but it was perfect. It was a perfect way to begin, as not in this like ideal,
Full. Right.
highly cultivated state. It was like
Right.
I remember, and you just let me like. I have to assume you knew what was getting ready to happen, but you're like, yeah, man, let's make a plan. Let's see how you do on day one. And like, I of course like went to like 6 events and like totally boofed it. Like I added my calories up for the first time in my life. Like
Yeah.
at the end of it, it's like, holy God, what did I do to myself? And
Reality check.
complete reality check, and like remember texting you the next day and being like, well, and I had tried to think about it was the sad part. It was like I thought I was doing all right.
Right.
And then I was like, and then I added it up and was like, oh man, what did I do? And, but it was perfect because we made an on the fly adjustment right there that next
Right.
day. You were like, here's some guidelines for like,
Right.
keep this in your
While
head.
you're at
Like
the
what,
conference.
that's right. Like what finger foods are. And like, you're going to be invited out for drinks tonight. Like, what are you going to do? Are you going to adjust your intake during the day or how are you going to manage that? And like, I managed to get, I think that was the first time maybe I'd gotten 12,000 steps in, like consciously
Right.
trying and like walking all my life has been, as we've talked about between kids, like Halloween's going on right now. There's just always, thankfully, there's something awesome happening all the time. We're going out to eat. We have kid
Yeah.
birthday party. We have a sporting event where we're not cooking at home. We're like with my work, it's often I was out of town for work last week. I'm on the road, putting some miles under me and trying to plan well around those things. And like, but to back up to your question of like, why did I start? Like, I had just gotten to this place of like in my life where I knew I needed to change. My doctor was telling me I needed to change. We had some health issues through my family, through several
Right.
people over the previous 24 months. That at our age, at my age, at 42, I was kind of looking around and
Yeah. I'm
like,
40.
yeah, yeah. You start to ask yourself I was doing the things that we all do, going to cookouts and like post COVID, like drinking as many beers as I wanted, having as many cheeseburgers as I wanted. And that's, I love cheeseburgers and beers still,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I definitely got to this place where I couldn't do anymore the things that I used to be able to do. I couldn't run around with my kids the way I used to be able to do. I couldn't go
Right.
on bike rides or swim the way I used to be able to do. And not that long ago, I'm not talking like when I was 17, like 5 and 6
High
years ago.
school.
Like, right.
Right.
It was amazing how quickly that changed. And so I had, I've recognized pretty quickly, and we'll talk more about this, I'm sure, like I needed help this time because I was really adamant that I did not want to do a fad diet. I didn't want to do some boom and bust thing. Like I was like, I need to find something I can repeat like
Right.
again and again and
Sustainability.
again. Right. Throughout the rest of my life so that I hopefully like, I don't know how many times I'll get this opportunity to have like the time and the energy to like make a 40-pound swing or like aim for a 40-pound swing in my life. I
Right.
don't want to have to do that again.
Age 50 or 60, right? You don't,
right. And I mean, it's
that.
possible. I'm certain it's possible,
Of
right? If
course.
that's where you are, like you can jump on and do that. But like, I'm thankful that like this is the moment, and I really hope I don't have to repeat that, you know?
Right.
And so that was my motivation and like seeking help, because I've been able to lose weight before, but I've never been able to like find a new balance of like, this is my life and this is kind of how I live. So,
Right. So we started around 230, right on the nose
right.
there back in August 1st. Now we're down in the 190. So where are we today on Halloween itself?
195 this morning, I think.
It's
And that's
incredible.
been, yeah, thanks, man. It's been, a pretty amazing journey. Yeah. And it's, I'm hoping to be down, as you know, but I mean, in the 1s, and really that's the number that my doctor shares with me that I should be as my target. So I assume that that's a good one. And
Yeah.
I'm really excited about that target for lots of reasons, which we can talk more about.
Yeah.
But
So
like
let's talk about where you were real quick.
yeah.
Describe the body, the energy, even the clothing. You don't wear any of those clothes anymore, and how that's been different from where you're at now.
Yeah, man. Like I think I sent you a photo of like, we had gone to Disney World with our kids earlier this year. And like, I had to buy new clothes that were bigger, like short shirts, the whole shooting match. I just didn't have anything that fit anymore.
Right.
We went there. It was like all I could do to kind of motor around the park, carrying stuff and kids all day. And like,
Yeah.
whooped.
You're
And,
tired, more tired than they were.
that's right. I was exhausted. And that was like, to me then, and that was true, got even more true through the year, because that pattern continued up through August, where like I really wasn't exercising very much or well and consistently. And so, my kids are, like you said, 4 to 9, and they're wild, and they're just normal kids. They're busy. They want to play. They want to go on, hikes. They want to play soccer. They want to anything we can do together. They want to do. And I had noticed my inability to do that, or if like I really went hard, like my recovery was rough. Like
Right.
after, Disney, it was like going on a hike or something with weight, I felt wrecked after doing it. And
Right.
so
Full day at the kingdom and you're
that's right.
toast.
Man, and like it just worried me. Frankly, it's like, dude,
Right.
I want to be able to do this for a long time. Like I need
Yeah.
to be able to be with these guys for a long time. And
And your grandkids. I know that my wife loves Disney. We'll be going there with our grandkids, and it'll be important that I can still do laps around that place from one
sure,
end to the
man, it's
next.
like, it's a great litmus test if you're wondering how your fitness level, like go to Disney and you'll know. But yeah, man, so like where I was there, and then like energy wise, like just didn't want to do a lot. Like I was kind of like had that, you know, uh, attitude where it was like, oh, I don't want to go outside and like work on my house. I don't want to like go do this sort of
Right.
thing. Right. Buddies were going on ski trips or hiking trips or something that's like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. And so, I think that was part of it. But like the biggest part was just for me personally was like, as I mentioned a minute ago, was like that trajectory of life, right? Like was like, is this going to be my normal? It's kind of like that moment in the mirror for me, like after talking to my doctor and chat, it's like, is this what I'm going to do? And if it is, then like, I kind of want to choose that that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be this heavy and I'm not going to be able to do those things. And it's like, and I started to ask myself, I started to hope and wonder is like, do I dare dream? I mean, we first talked, I think I was trying to get to 195 is what I told you. My first goal was 30 pounds because I wasn't sure that was possible. Right. It was
Right.
like, and I was like, man, I think I can, I don't know, but I'm going to try to do better and see how far I can go. Right. And so, and I don't think I realized, I mean, there's a ton of stuff about this I didn't realize when we started working together. Um, but like that moment of like just the hope of like, hey, shoot, I really hope I can reverse this was the first step, right? And I think I might be able to, but I don't think I can by myself. Were like kind of the key ingredients of like, how do I begin on this path?
Right.
And I say that because the way your mentality changes, and my mentality has changed over the course of this is really different, right? Like things like I've adjusted my goal. Obviously, like I started it like sub 200 was like the main goal. Hopefully 195, and like now is as we've gotten there, it's like, well,
Right.
I'd really like to be down in the 180s.
Reevaluate.
And like, and now it's not even, I mean, the number is important to me because it motivates me to
Sure.
do the things I need to do.
You're a
Uh,
driven type A type person and you're an architect.
Sure.
So numbers are just literally rolling around in your head.
Oh yeah, I need the number. I like it. It keeps me fixated on my targets. But man, it's also like just what that unlocks. Like the further we've gone, like if I was talking to myself back when I started, I thought it was just about losing weight and being healthier for my kids, right?
Right.
Which I'm still excited about. But like as I went, the layering of this process has been really profound for me because like as I feel better and as I've lost weight and as like I've gotten more flexible, I've got more endurance, my recovery gets less. Like how quickly those things layer, even after 6 weeks, is very different than where you start. So your mind starts to open up to new goals, new possibilities for workouts. Like when we started, I think literally all I was doing was like, you're like, dude, just go
Walking.
walk. Right. Go walk. Like, don't stress. Like, stretch, walk, stretch, walk. Like,
Right.
and every day, like, try to do that and like just
Yeah.
get moving. And how rapidly that for me went like from that to like, well, I'm going to buy like a bike trainer and I'm going to just,
Right.
and I'm going to ride for 15 minutes. Like, I don't know
Right.
what it's, I've never done that. And like, and I can go on now, like where that gets after 3 months, if just the consistency of it's like, I went on a 32-mile bike ride the other day outside, like on a road bike, like it felt good. Like that was
Right.
that was fun. Like I would do that again.
Right.
And if you'd have told me that, or if I'd have come with that, would have felt like an unrealistic goal. And it wasn't even on my radar when I started. It's like an outgrowth of feeling better.
Well, let's talk about your circle of friends. They are highly
Right.
active people, and
Yeah.
you were not involved in their athletic endeavors, but you've gone on weekend hikes, you've gone on with your buddies, with your son, you've gone on these long bike rides now. So this is a part of just like say fellowship and connecting with guys that are close to you, and that's an incredible thing because now they're not dilly-dallying waiting around for you. You're there with them. Even that you did a long couple day a mountain up in the Appalachian mountains, a hike, you were able to get through it and do well, and
Yeah,
that
man.
means a lot more fun.
Oh, dude, well, yeah, and it's been a point of rediscovery, both of those relationships, like what you're pointing out, and things I remember I used to love. Like I used to love the backpack and mountaineer and rock climb, and me and a group of buddies, we would go for days. I mean, it
Right.
was not uncommon for us to disappear for a week and pack, and like that's been a long time, and
Yeah.
maybe that was when I was 19, but but lately that hadn't been real. I mean, I hadn't gone skiing. I hadn't done any of these things. And many of my closest friends and two of my best friends are immensely fit, successful guys. Have never made that an issue in our relationship ever. But I couldn't keep pace. There's no doubt. Like if
Right.
we were going on a bike ride, like, I could keep pace for 4 or 5 miles, but like, I'd have to go back to the house and hang out if that's what we were going to do.
I'll catch you on the last third of your ride.
That's right. Like, yeah, like I remember earlier this year, it's a perfect example. I went to visit one buddy and he was doing a stage mountain biking race in the mountains, which is an elite thing to do, but
Right.
I couldn't have even gone out for the warm up with him, dude, so it was like, but now it's like, we're having conversations about like, hey man, can we catch a bike trip next year? Like we just happened to be together last weekend and we both threw bikes in and it was like, let's ride, 25 miles in the morning before
Right.
everybody else is up and like just catch up and nothing
Yeah.
intense, just being
Just get
together
out there.
and like, yeah, and like I was able to start hiking again, like you said, and like me and a buddy crushed a long weekend, and then that got me excited. And I took my oldest son for his first backpacking trip, earlier while we've been working together in the last few weeks, and like it's just amazing to be able to open
Right.
his mind up to that, right? And it's like, but I have to carry. I mean, I hate to always make it about what you're able to do, but I'm carrying all the stuff for both of us, all the water, all the food, all
Right.
the, and it's like, and I felt super confident to take both of us back in the backcountry and the Smokies and be like, hey, let's go have a great time, man. Cause it's like, you put whatever you want in there. Like, I'm going to carry it up and over this hill for us. So we can
Yeah.
have a good time.
Yeah.
And, like, the
So we're
unlock, it's been great.
so we're developing a a sense of fitness and capacity to do really fun things. And that's where
Yeah.
you're living in excitement. Just even the silly thing about doing laps around Disney the next time you go, that creates excitement, that creates anticipation and thrill of just living life. How is that, let's say, this new level of fitness and consistency around just eating healthier? And we'll talk about that, but in your fitness level, how is that translating into other areas of your life? Because I speak with tons, I work with tons of entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders that they are so bogged down in this one area of life that they've lost sight of the health. And that's where I usually find them when they realize that their waist, their belt has run out of notches, or they have to continually go get their suit tailored or something to larger. And they realize, but there's an impact that goes into, of course, your business, and then even more importantly, your family. So how is this just new lifestyle translating into those areas for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think, well, a couple different ways. Like, I think the challenge if you're doing what we do and you own your own business, or you're, you just any business professional, right?
Mhm.
In
Right.
midlife with children, like your time is at premium all the time. And everyone, it's a wonderful stage of life, but everyone needs stuff from you typically. And so the patterns and the habits and the systems are the things that, like, and I know you preach this a lot, but it's become something I preach, of like, of planning for laziness, make it easy, try to remove as many barriers as possible to doing it, right? And so the edges of the day are successful times for me, right? Like, I love a 5 a.m. workout, because, and maybe people think that's crazy. That's okay. Like, but I can work out for I can get a long workout in
Right.
early, and it's done. And like, and I'm like, by
And
the
get
time I
through
get
the
home,
rest of
I'm
the
like,
day.
I'm amped, right? Like, I can
Yeah.
do it. And
Right.
conversely, sometimes it's late at night. Like, I've had a busy kid day.
Right.
It's a Saturday where we like been out, we've been doing stuff. We got soccer games, we've got, you name it.
Right.
Everybody's gone to bed. Like, my wife wants to watch some Netflix or something. I'm like, I'm gonna hit the trainer for 45 minutes before I go to sleep. And like, those
Get
simple
to it.
things have helped, right? And just the habits of walking, making it accessible. Walking is always accessible, right? Like,
Yeah.
on a call, you walk out your front door, you can go get 30 minutes, you can get your steps in
Right.
without being anywhere, any weather, which is great. And so just remembering that you don't need to go buy a huge system all the time. You don't
Right.
need to go to a gym all the time. If you want to, like, that's become part of my life again, which I like. But on days I can't make it, like, I try to do some of the in-place workouts we talk about. Okay, I have in my head of like an alternate routine already, where it's like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to rip off this many
Right.
push-ups and squats, and like, and try to get some work in. And so those things where, and I would say that's the biggest thing in my head too. Like, you and I have refined over the last 3 months. You've helped me even refine like how I lift and how I am
Right.
making it simpler, where it's like, I'm not trying to invent this long list of
Right.
30 exercises, right? And I'm like frustrated because I can't get on the machines in a circuit because it's unreasonable to get
Right.
on 30 machines, right? So it's like, do two. And that's
Yeah.
really easy to do. And then do two
Right.
more if you got time. And like,
Right.
simple things like that, like where you start to shave off your psychological
Right.
excuses and or barriers, where you're like, I couldn't do that. And so we can almost always catch one machine, right? Like, it's
Right.
and
Yeah.
crunches, like, it's easy to do that. And like,
Right.
and so that, like, being flexible within that parameters has been great. It's changed how I operate. I think it's helped me prioritize a lot on the business
Yeah.
side. This is
Focus
sort
and
of a
priority
side.
is definitely what I was gonna be interesting, because I know that business is accelerating for you. You're like, I need to start finding people to help me go do work. So what's
Yeah.
going on there in the biz side of
Business,
things?
I've been super fortunate, man. Like, we've maintained a good pace this first year, and been able to find some good help, and like,
Right.
this gives me energy to do that, right? But I think, which is a huge part of it. It gives me confidence. Like, it's something I feel like is going well in my life. Like, just,
Right.
it's a massive stress relief for me. The healthiest stress relief I can have. You're not drinking away your stress and like doing or whatever else I might have eaten away, like
Seeking
sitting
other
down.
coping mechanisms. We talked about
Yeah.
stress. There's stress in some of the family health things that have come from your parents and your wife and stuff. Like, it's just that's stressful to just not be living in good health.
It
Period.
is.
So
Yeah, and those things aren't of their own doing necessarily, but
right.
yeah, like that stress, like, I think we, and I know others, like came out of COVID and we were dealing with that stress in really specific ways, right? Like we
Right.
maybe had too much alcohol after dinner, chips and queso or something, right? Like just that your
Trying to
hand and
connect, but
right, your hand
also
and brain disconnect themselves from each other,
right, right.
and like just you try and relieve that stress somehow, and it just won't come. And being in business and everything is a huge part of that. Work is stressful for everyone, I
Of
know,
course.
and
Right. You're
and being a
dealing with
parent,
large multi-million dollar projects, right?
yeah,
I mean, when it's all said and done, there's a timeline, a deadline, there's lots of money, and this building needs to be open for the public to use. And that's stressful in itself to make deadlines. And so having more focus and clarity, because we took a lot of thought out of the everyday stuff of exercise or nutrition. Let's briefly talk about nutrition. What were some of the things that we did that were different from what you've done in the past, or fads or whatnot?
yeah, man. I think one thing is the emphasis on simplicity, right? Like, so we had done. My wife and I had done, Whole30. We had done, I forget, like the Greek diet. We've done all kinds of different things over 20 years, right? And most of them, in our experience, the barrier is not like the food or the number of calories or something. It's just the prep. You have to either have a lot of specialized stuff, or you spend 6 hours on a Sunday making food for the week, and like
Right.
that time is the barrier, has been for us. We can't replicate that over and over when life gets
No.
busy. And so I would say that's one. And then like feeling and not really having a firm grasp on just the numbers for me. Like I knew when I was eating poorly, I knew when I was eating well, whatever that
Right.
meant. But like I didn't know like just inputs and outputs. Like I can tell you after 3 months, like if I'm looking at a plate, I know about how many calories are on it.
Right. Right.
And I know how
Super
to pull
calorie aware now, which
right,
is
how to
helpful.
pull
So that goes in any situation, whether you're at home eating with your kids, you're going out for a scoop of ice cream with them after
right.
a soccer game, or you're traveling to a conference and they're just drowning you with the snack cart and the after, conference booze and whatever. Like, though you now have choices, you have decisions, you have responsibility around how to stay healthier and more on point with everything that is going on in your world. So we really created better systems around your food preparation, about awareness of what you're eating, its impact on your health, your body, your focus, your priorities of what needs done. And you wouldn't end in some carb comas all the time, slumping around at 3 p.m. because of, you've over caffeinated and over fast fooded or something. Like, those weren't the situation. So you can go into your fridge, or go, even if you're driving around, you can just stop, get a meal that's going to work in well for you, and then not spend a lot of time, energy, effort. So we're really able to systematize that too. And that's been a
Yeah.
lot of fun. So we've got the fitness is ramped up. You've got really cool plans around that. We simplify nutrition, whether you're eating by yourself, with your family of four others, when you travel, or with clients at meetings. We focus on a lot of stress coping mechanisms and strategies on how to manage that, and it not equal food or equal calories or just equal, say, laziness. Nobody, we can have downtime, of course, but we don't need just sheer, I need to take a whole day off or something because I'm comatose and I can't deal with the responsibilities of life. Like, that doesn't exist anymore for you now. And you're a driven person, you want to keep going, doing bigger, better things. Now we don't have to spend so much time about what am I going to eat in the day. Like, that's just
Yeah.
non-existent. So
No, that's totally
no,
right, man. I mean, making the system is the thing, making a choice. You said being aware of the calories, right, that you're taking in, and aware of simple tweaks that you can. The planning, I guess, is the last thing I would put on that list. Is very different. Like
yes,
where I know, like tonight's Halloween, and so it's like I know that we're having special dinner with my in-laws. I know there's
hmm,
gonna be candy everywhere. I know there's gonna be, and it's like, so I plan for it. And I know that I'm not going to partake in all of that, but I'll partake in some because it's fun,
yeah,
right? That's what life's
yeah, yeah,
about. But like I can plan through the day to day. I know that I can eat a slightly lighter lunch and without very much consequence to me calorically, and like, and have capacity tonight to have a great time without, having to sit and fret about it. That simple thing, that again and again, and the awareness of what I said before of like, hey man, like these things are, I know what is in each of these. And then like, but the last thing that you were pointing out, the system of it, like I know what I'm going to eat. Like I eat the same stuff regularly. I know how many calories
And you
are in it.
enjoy it too.
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's very easy for me to prepare. It's inexpensive for me to buy, and I enjoy eating it. And I like crave it now if I don't have it for a couple days. Like I
And we're
start
not
to-
just eating chicken, broccoli, and rice. Like you have pizza, you have Halloween candy, you have socializing. You go to your buddies and have a beer as well. So you have that that ability to adapt in the situation that you. So let's talk one more question here for you. If you were to talk to 230-pound Neil or someone that's watching this that is in a health situation that isn't great. Their energy's low. They're not productive as they know they could be. They have big aspirations for what they do in their business and even more importantly in their life. What would you say for them?
I mean, I would say don't be afraid to just begin. Like you like set a, I mean, for me, the beginning was the hardest thing, right? It's like getting over that barrier of like, I know I'm going to have to change and I know I don't have the means to do it solo. Were like the biggest hurdles for me. Once I began the process and we started working together, like the inertia of it moved the other direction, right? Like where it's like,
it's just
oh,
when Brian showed up, it looked like a bad day on the stock market.
It did. It's been on a full blown slide since then, which is sweet. And like, but you have I had no idea where I was going to go. And like, I had no idea I would be in a position to readjust my goals after 3 months. And I'm thankful I am. And I appreciate the help getting there. And like, and some of the stuff we've talked about they were not goals when I started. They weren't even on my radar, And so, so I find that immensely exciting. I'm pretty excited to figure out, what my capacity will be. And
we got big things to go. We're just getting out of the fat loss phase and getting into the performance phase of what does this mean. And we talked about it throughout our time. Just obviously you love being outdoors and using your body for physical things like the biking and being able to keep up with your basically professional cyclist friend will be really exciting. To be able to go on a 40-50 mile hike and not think twice about it. Like these are really exciting things. Or be able to drag your kids around and around and they're the ones that are tired at the end of the Disney. That's really important to you. So I really appreciate you taking the time to share. I really appreciate you working so hard in the last 3 months together. You message me all the time. We have really great conversations that deep dive into the finer things. This isn't a meal plan. This isn't go exercise this whatever. Like this is an interactive experience where we created a lifestyle that you can live and work and have success with. So Neil, you're a rock star. I really appreciate you. And if anyone's watching this and they feel that, some of Neil's story resonates with them, reach out, say hello. Like you said, we just got to get started. And simple questions like, hi, hey, Coach Brian, I watched this. I need some. So I appreciate you. And off we go. So you can go get a bike ride in before the day's over and you have evening, afternoon chores. So later, Gator. I appreciate you.
Thanks, man. Appreciate all the help, Brian.
All right. I hope that Neil's story intrigued you, caught your attention, and you were listening to every little bit of it. You heard the pieces of his day-to-day life, his story, and I hope that inspired you to take some action. We didn't do any magical things. There wasn't this crazy fad diet thing. And we didn't all of a sudden turn his life upside down either. We dealt with the stress, we dealt with the challenges, and we forced a solution that made sense in his day-to-day life. And not even necessarily forced, but we made it work. And that's the important thing, is we want to make sure that what we create together and what you do is sustainable. I love this saying, what we do in 2 weeks, we do in 2 months, we do in 2 years. And we don't want health getting worse, because if you're 32 pounds overweight like Neil was, chronic health issues is just around the corner, especially if you are in your 40s. A man who's 40 or 50, that much weight over and not taking care of himself, may die younger than they want. and have more complications and not actually live the lifestyle that they want. And that's what I do. The Call to Rise is my 100-day fat loss challenge to help give you science-backed nutrition and fitness and set you up with sustainability, which is incredibly important. And that's what you get is a transformation experience with not only myself, but a bunch of like-minded men who are in the trenches with you, just like Neil, and are seeking a successful solution. I mean, you hire consultants in your business, why not with your health? All right. So check out thecalltorise.com and join me and my guys. See you in episode 59. All right, cool. Thanks.